Welcome back to In the Oven with Adam and Brad.
What's up, y'all?
I feel out of practice. I feel like it's been a while since I've said that. I don't know why.
I do too. Why does it feel like it's been so long?
I don't know. We recorded like right after New Year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It feels like an eternity since we did that. But just because we're doing this on Thursday instead of our normal Tuesday, I'll just say we're out of flow. But we got Garrison over here running some sour strips to Adam.
He's helping me out.
So I guess this podcast is sponsored by Sour Strips and Chubbies. I feel like yin and yang right now. I'm wearing like a khakis chubby flannel, and Adam's got on like a black and gray one.
Yeah,
So-
we're like double dragon and
Yeah.
yeah, double dragon. I don't know the move.
We like combine and make
I don't know
something.
Which one we get here?
Cotton candy.
What's your favorite flavor?
The more sour, the better. So I think that wild cherry is like up there for me. I think it's one of the more sour ones.
This one isn't sour at all.
It's not as sour. Yeah.
I like Strabango.
Cotton candy tastes like banana to me.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and taste it, and it tastes like banana.
I didn't think about it until you said it, and
Yeah.
I already tasted it.
Yeah, I remember.
The Strabango, though?
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's
we
good.
had them in the bites.
Yeah, the
That's
bites
really
ones. Well, the bites are good. You know, I'm a big fan of bites. You know.
Yep.
So, great minds think alike. We also have a bites product. That's awesome.
I wasn't going to do any sugar today, but then I had to test a cookie for work.
Which one did you test?
Cookies Anonymous.
Oh, you just like a first one out. Yeah. So
Oh, well.
we've I feel like a lot has happened since the last time we podcasted. I don't think, did we talk about the fact that like we won an auction? We got like a blast chiller, all kinds of cool stuff.
Got
Something
a whole bunch of stuff.
I know it's gonna sound stupid. I grew up watching the Food Network, so like the other like earlier, Josh was like, "Yeah, we had that in our restaurant, a salamander," and I was like, "Yeah, I know what a salamander is. I've watched Food Network. Come on, yeah." So most of the time, people leave their stuff in the salamander too long and they burn it, but I always was envious of the blast chiller because they'd be like, "Oh, he's moving it to the blast chiller to see if his what it would set." It was usually like some kind of like pudding type stuff, like would set in time, and they get out and like, "Oh no, it's not set." No, I've always wanted a blast chiller, but they're so expensive.
Yeah, I always liked Iron Chef, how they could like turn anything into ice cream. Like I don't really even know the machinery that they have, but like I watched it when I was a kid, and I was just like, they got octopus and onions, and they're and now it's ice cream. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, yeah, there's a show now that's like Alex versus America, and like 3 chefs come in, and they're like, somewhere in the U.S. is where they originate from, but they're like, their specialty is like cheese or noodles or French cooking or something like that.
Okay.
And then she's against them, and in the first round, they pick the like ingredients that they're going to use and the time and everything. And then they all cook, and then 2 chefs come in and do like a blind taste test, and whoever's like last ranked is out. And then the next round is like the money round, and as long as you beat Alex, you get money.
Who is this Alex person?
Alex Cornicelli, Iron Chef. Alex Cornicelli.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's I'm enjoying that show a lot. That's a really cool one to watch. So if you haven't, it's a cooking show. If you haven't
I'll
watched that one,
check that out.
check it out. I think we're watching it on like, it's either, I think it's HBO Max or Hulu, one of the two.
Okay.
But we pay, for some reason I pay for like every streaming platform out there.
You got kids.
It's like I cut the cable ties and then pay for every streaming platform there is. But anything fun going on with you last week?
No, just hanging out with the family, starting the new year off. We've all got some New Year's goals. My wife and I are chipping away at some different books that we're planning on reading this year. So,
Do you have a certain amount of books you want to read?
I haven't set a number goal, but it'll be probably, I don't know. Let's set one now. 18.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Tough.
Yeah, that's hard for me. Like
I can always, I don't know. I feel weird picking number goals too on books because like there are a lot of really thin, really good, worthy books of reading.
Right.
Even ones that are like classics.
Well, even like Atomic Habits isn't that big of a book.
Well, yeah. Well, like Call of the Wild
Okay.
is like 200 pages. 100,
Right.
150 pages. You read that in like an afternoon. And so like, I don't know. So it's kind of hard. You can always catch back up on a number. But I want to read some fiction books just to kind of slow down like we talked about. Kind of chill out, read and slow down. But then some self-help or whatever strategy books. Mindset. The tough thing is it's just like I think I've read most everything worth read. Like hearing it differently.
Yeah.
Maybe. I know what to do. It's just suck it up and do it.
Doing it, yeah. So Aubrey and I like saw a reel that was talking about how reading for 6 minutes every night was like the greatest thing you could do for your body to like put it into like rest mode, you know? So now we've been journaling and reading every night. You know, I don't like the whole like new year, new me, but because we had a kid, it almost like forced you into this new routine. So, you know, I mentioned Garrison dropping off the sour strips, but Garrison's my running buddy now. And, we haven't, I guess, officially put this out anywhere yet. So the podcast is gonna be the first one, but, I'm going to run a half marathon this year.
Hell yeah.
And, at first I was like, I'm going to do it in under 2 hours and, which is still a respectable time. But I think that like with all things, there needs to be a goal of like doing it better than that. So my goal is now an hour 45, but I've decided that I'm going to run a half marathon an hour 45 by the end of the year. So if I don't do it in April, like I want to do it, I'm still going to continue to try to do it because I think a lot of people, if they don't get their goal, because they said it like April 26th, Nashville half marathon, if I don't run it, I'm going to then pick another half marathon. And I'm going to keep running it until I get it. Yeah. So if I get it, then who knows what else? Maybe I'll just keep working away. But I told Garrison I have no desire for it.
What if you get it in training between now and then?
It doesn't count. It's not official.
There you go.
Yeah.
But are you going to change your goal?
Will I change my goal? I don't know. I guess it depends on how easily.
You know, like powerlifting. Like if I'm like, I just hit for a double.
Yeah, I think but there's a difference between like hitting something and being able to consistently hit something, right? You know, so like, I told Garrison, like, I want to be able to get out there. Like my overall goal, which is not going to, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's just like unlikely to happen this year. Is like, I want to be able to get out there and like run a half marathon in like 7-minute pace, like whenever I felt like it.
Yeah.
Like Garrison could do that right now. Like it's 7-minute miles for a half marathon. He could do it. You know, it's like, he doesn't need to like warm up for that or train for that. It's like he could do it. And so like that's kind of like what I'm pushing towards, but there's no real desire for an Ironman or a marathon. I think I know that I'm capable of doing those things if I wanted to do them. For me, it's just like I enjoy my life so much. I don't want to dedicate so much of my life training towards that thing. So yeah.
Go exercise for 10 hours.
Yeah. It's just not it. Like I don't like to do anything for 10 hours. Like name the most fun thing to do. I wouldn't even have sex with my wife for 10 hours. Like I'm just not doing that. So it's just like, and that to me is the most fun thing I can do.
Yeah. That and go-karts. Go-karts are pretty fun. The fast ones. Yeah.
For 10 hours though, would you want to do
it? Yeah, I can do it.
Your butt would hurt.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Sex and go-karts, same thing, right?
Make your butt hurt.
Blowing rubber.
That's right. Oh, actually, no. One cool thing, we have been trying to do the reading thing too. My son and I got a action. So it's the stories of the Bible, but like animated in like a comic book form.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So like all the like action sequences of the Bible,
like David and Goliath.
Oh yeah, those are all in there. I mean, even like the nativity scene and stuff's in there. So it's kind of neat. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's been cool bonding over that.
No, that's really neat. And I know that you have an infatuation with comics. And
yeah,
that
I like comics
too, and so I'm sure
it's reading somewhat. It's pictures somewhat, and in a world of like technology, it's entertaining for him enough to like hang out. So I like it. But
yeah, I think that I told you this. I think on the last podcast. After Christmas, I just get this desire to like clean up my life, and but by clean up my life, I mean just like purge my closet, clean everything. So Garrison got to be a part of that process, but we spent pretty much a full entire day. It was half days twice to like just storage for my garage, organizing everything.
Great,
it looks so good in there.
All that stuff built
and then I purged out some closet. I know I gave Garrison like a huge trash bag of clothes and stuff. So I did the purge there. So I think it's just like finding this new routine. We moved in, a lot happened at the end of the year for us. You know, we moved into a new house, having the new baby, Letty started a new school. Yep. Like there's just a lot of new things, which can be exciting, but it can also be difficult to like handle all that stuff.
Nerves, yeah. Just new all the time.
So yeah, all of that going on. But that all been good things, like nothing to complain about. Fat and Weird's doing great. So just like, I'm excited about 2025. I think I told you I think it was like clarity, just like really clear on like what I want to do and who I want to be and those things. So, just grateful. Truthfully, right now, I just think about it, just like grateful for the people I have in my life and just like how things are going.
Good, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, Fat and Weird wise, we officially have Wegmans order in. I don't know if the pallets have shipped yet.
No,
they
haven't.
I have a good friend that's in North Carolina and said they just built a Wegmans right next to him. So he's really excited about that. He's actually someone that like eats Fat and Weird cookies like often.
Great.
Really excited about getting into Wegmans. It'll be like our first big grocery chain. We're in some smaller chains, like 6 locations here, or like one really big location that does like stuff. But like this will be our first big grocery chain, and then right shortly after them is Giant Eagle.
Yep, Giant Eagle rolls out,
and then Myers, and then Publix is supposed to be. Don't really know that much. It's really weird when you get into this world. Like people are like, yeah, we're gonna do it, and then you're like,
these giants, man, they talk to each other, but on their own timelines, and they're just like not in any sense of urgency. When but when we get our order, we better get it in on time. So yeah, there's a lot of hurry up and wait, but like wait in a hurried state. So it's kind of tough.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
So, and then obviously the team here is growing.
Yeah,
big staff downstairs.
Now, yeah, it's wild seeing all them parking spaces full.
Yeah, it was so funny. We used to have people like park not in parking spaces, but it was just because this is like they just wanted to not park in parking spaces. And then I was like, hey, everyone needs parking spaces. And now they're like not parking spaces again. I was like, hey, everyone needs parking spaces. And they're like, oh, there's not enough parking spaces. So yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and roll into some of these videos that Andy's found for us. See what we got going on. We got Giant Snowball.
Look, this guy destroyed the whole city just for fun by rolling snow down a mountain. As he kept rolling, the snowball grew bigger and bigger, turning into a massive ice boulder. Just then, the giant snowball slipped out of his hands and started rolling like crazy down the hill, but he managed to catch it again. Meanwhile, these two friends almost demolished the whole country because they found even bigger snowball on the mountain and pushing it downhill. As it rolled, it grew so large that it finally fell and exploded. But still, you haven't liked this video yet.
Oh wow, Andy gets sucked in, I think, to like the funniest,
Do you think there's some
worst
kind
videos.
of like netting or something under them for them to be able to
roll it like that? Yeah, I don't
know enough about snow. I haven't played with it enough.
I don't think it like I've never seen it pick up off of grass like that. So I feel like there's something. But I mean, hypothetically, yeah, you could create a snowball like big enough to
like an
like
ice roll. But like, I don't know.
Do you think you could create a snowball big enough to like wreck a house?
Yeah, if you started high enough.
You don't think it would like bust eventually?
I don't know.
Because like a rock, I've seen that. Have you seen like rocks sliding down mountains?
Oh, yeah.
I saw one time where people were like camping and it was coming down and like people were like jumping out of the way, but like they didn't get hit. But oh my
Tennessee is when I was a kid, but
they had other signs.
Yeah, I didn't see the avalanche or anything, but like it took the road out. We had to like go back and go around and other shit. The cops are there.
Yeah,
it's wild.
All right, Japan has 2050 inventions. Let's see.
This invention proves Japan is living in 2050. This is how electricity is being generated in Japan simply by people walking. Let me explain. In Tokyo, one of the busiest cities in the world, special black tiles have been installed along many walking paths. Each time someone steps on these tiles, they capture the kinetic energy from the footstep and convert it into electricity, helping to power the city. This is made possible by a smart technology called piezoelectricity. Just one step can generate enough power to light up to 10 bulbs for 20 seconds.
So technically, though, you're not getting the rebound of your foot, right? So like you're working to generate electricity,
right?
Because every step it sinks down, and now you've got to step up to like get out of that,
right? It feels like people won't want to walk across it, and then also whatever is rebounding that step will wear out
eventually. Yeah.
So there would be a cost
factor of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the only time I've seen people like utilize free energy type stuff is like waves, and wind.
Yeah, the wave stuff with bobbing up and down. That's pretty cool. And then I've seen some stuff where they can somehow like the friction that's created between the tire and the road, like anyways, somehow they're able to capture some energy there.
Well, and I know braking too. It's like you're trying to slow down, so you might as well capture that as energy too.
Yeah, I think recapture is really smart. I don't know that that's doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, and I don't think it's 2050. I think it's not cool. Okay, surfing on 3.5 million BBs.
This is 3.5 million airsoft BBs. And I filled every square inch of Crunch Labs with these tiny airsoft BBs because I wanted to turn this place into a room temperature ice rink, which means now I can not only enjoy some indoor surfing, but also finally put to use my beloved lawn chair hoverboard. But the thing is, although the floor is now actually more slippery than ice, every single BB here is completely dry. So why is it when you interact with this many BBs, they behave more like water? Like, how is that even possible? Well, naturally, it should make sense why this blue sea of BBs are completely frictionless, because any given BB rolls smoothly like a wheel under your foot as you move around. So when you multiply that one BB by millions, you now glide around on all of those wheels in any direction, like you're basically in space. And while this slippery ground makes walking normally a bit of a challenge, it does technically mean the wheels on your skateboard are now completely optional.
Yeah, so that's actually pretty cool. But it's a same philosophy of there's a lot of things that like kind of like glide onto like essentially bearings and stuff like that. So
Mark Rober's life was probably pretty cool.
Yeah, just doing that.
Yeah, he's like just an engineer. He's into like simple engineering and like, I don't know. You teach simplified concepts to whoever, adults, kids, whomever, but it's like, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. I mean, I would do that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Seems fun.
Let's play Find the Ankle Monitor.
This guy cuts his ankle monitor off, and look what happened.
I'm done being locked up. I'm done with this. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm done. There we go, for good this time.
What's up, gangster? My name is Kobe, and I can find any location in the entire world. To find the exact location of your ankle monitor, I slowed down your video to look for important clues. First, I noticed a car with a California license plate driving by. Next, I noticed you were on a bridge. And last clue was this triangle structure in the background. I then spent the next 6 hours of my day going through the 25,000 different bridges in the state of California. Finally, I got my big break. I found the bridge. It was called the Shakespeare Bridge in Los Angeles, California. I grabbed my laptop and drove 3 hours to the Shakespeare Bridge. Finally, I located it directly in the bushes. I jumped directly over the bridge and went straight to the target. I secured the ankle monitor in my case and went straight to the Los Angeles Police Department. Now, I may not be able to find you, but Sergeant Bedewick and his 30,000 officers will. Good luck, gangster.
Love to see it.
But like honestly though, wouldn't they have been alerted as soon as it was cut anyways?
Yeah, I would think they would have went and picked it up. I'm not really sure. I hate that this is social media that like, because, you know, they're like, do it for the views. Let me just get famous for being a criminal. And
like, cutting off my ankle monitor.
And then people, and the thing is, all people have to do is watch it. If they would give, like, if everybody had to give this person a nickel, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't support this stuff. But all they got to do is watch and share it and click on it.
Well, since you was talking about L.A., have you seen the fires in L.A.?
Yeah, dude, they're getting intense.
Yeah. Did you see that like 3 weeks ago on Joe Rogan's podcast? A guy was on the podcast. And Joe Rogan was talking. He was like, if the winds just blow the right direction, like LA is over if we ever have one of those big fires.
Yeah.
And then 6 years ago, Trump.
I feel like they were letting everybody know.
Yeah. 6 years ago, Trump, though, said LA really needs to do stuff about, or California needs to do stuff about their fires. They aren't doing proper like like the forest cleanup. Because, I mean, a lot of people don't realize like forest fires, of course, you can blame global warming and all this stuff. But the truth is, it's from dead vegetation not being removed. Yeah. So trees that fall and leaves that pile up. But they said 5 people have died, more than 2,000 structures have burned, and at least 130,000 residents are under evacuation. I saw a picture of like, what's Sunset Boulevard or whatever? Gone, like just gone. In certain areas.
California's
and then Malibu is just
there's a lot of overgrown everything. So you've got overgrown plant life, but you've also got overgrown, you know, houses and not even
They said it's most likely going to reach the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
And like take that out. But you know, never that I would wish this on anyone, but the people predominantly affected this is the ultra wealthy.
Well, it is, but the people that are really going to be affected are, yes, they are still ultra wealthy in that there are a lot of folks that inherited their homes that get to live in the Hollywood Hills. They got to get their grandparents' home that just bought it for a moderate salary and aren't balling.
Right.
But also don't want to sell their home.
Right.
Well, they don't have a choice now.
Yeah.
You can't rebuild. You don't have the money to rebuild. The Hollywood celebrity people, they have the money to rebuild, and typically the types of loans that they get require them to have insurance out the ass because they get sweetheart loans because they're famous. And so they'll be fine.
So, I'm assuming that a lot of these people that have had these generational homes probably didn't have insurance on them because they've just been passed down. And once you own a home outright, most people don't carry insurance on it.
That's what I learned, here when Michael hit. A lot of folks in places where you're like, what do you mean you can't afford to get this cleaned up? Look where you live. And it's like, oh, well, you're just a teacher and your husband's like a UPS guy.
Right.
And like you just inherited somebody, somehow you have this home, and like you should be able to have that home. You don't need to be rich to live in this street.
Right.
But oh well.
Yeah, I could imagine places like on the Cove and things like that where there's like older homes that have been passed home. Yeah. It is. It's wild. Obviously, there's I have mixed feelings about certain things. Like a lot of people are calling out Kim Kardashian because she's been posting about Skims and a launch and stuff and hasn't been talking about the LA fires. Yeah. But it's at the same time, she wasn't posting about Hurricane Michael when it was happening here. And I know she I don't even think she lives in LA. She probably lives in a suburb of.
Well, I think that's also stupid. What is she supposed to do? Hearts and prayers, hands emoji,
or tell people to go donate to it.
Right.
It's just I don't know. It's
that whole celebrities asking everybody else to donate kind of backfired with Oprah and The Rock asking people to donate for Hawaii.
Yeah.
They're like, why don't y'all donate? Y'all can pay for all this.
Yeah, you could do it yourself. Yeah. It's really something that's on your heart.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. Have you heard stories about them hooking up to fire hydrants? There's just no water.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
In California?
Yeah.
I've heard all kinds of stuff. I don't know what to believe, though.
Someone said that there was something signed where, Newsom signed this bill that didn't bring extra water to California to save some fish species or something.
Dude, Newsom's been an absolute joke for that state. I hope they replace him with anyone else.
Yeah. Well, I think that people are going to they're calling for the mayor of LA and him to be just gone.
Yeah. Bad. Bad. And then all just the flagrant stuff going around in 2020 with them not following any of their own rules.
Well, someone goes, where's Gavin Newsom? Why hasn't he said anything? And someone says, have you checked the French Laundry? Which was the restaurant that he was always eating out at during the 2020 when no one was allowed to eat out and he was eating out all the time. But no, I no matter what, it's a sad situation. I definitely would, never wish that upon anyone to lose your childhood home or your home. Man. It's it's a very sad thing. Your home is something your safe space. I think that's why, when your home gets broken into or whatever, it's why people get so upset is because you lose that safety,
I think too, man, there's such a big dropping of the ball regardless from the government's standpoint there of I think it's overpopulated, overcrowded, and whatever, but the government hasn't done anything to build up that infrastructure.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. The more I hear about stuff like that, the more I want to move to the middle of nowhere and just take care of my own stuff. So
yeah. Well, I will tell you, Montana has a lot of wildfires too, but it's because it's literally the wild. It's not outside of LA. It's and most of those wildfires usually affect the homes out in the middle of the nowhere. It's not an entire city that gets, yeah. So, I flew in last year. That's why Aubrey always loves to go visit Montana in early summer, because by late summer there are some wildfires, so it can get smoky and stuff like that. But when I flew in last year in August for her birthday, we were driving, and I remember looking up, and you can see on the side of this mountain, this whole mountain is just orange, just it's from fires and stuff. So definitely crazy to see. But yeah, California has one of the highest budgets too. There's no reason that they can't. And I heard they cut their firefighting budget. So yeah, it's literally the more you hear about it, which I don't know if it's true, it just sounds all just really, really terrible.
Yeah, man. So. Terrible all around.
All right. People who missed out on a fortune.
Here are some people who missed out on a fortune. So in 2009, a British IT worker named James Howells mined 7,500 Bitcoin during his free time, but ended up spilling lemonade on the laptop he mined them from and then threw it out, forgetting that it had the Bitcoin on there, which means currently in a Welsh landfill lies a $750 million laptop. Nolan Bushnell, the founder of Atari, was asked by Steve Jobs to take 1/3 of Apple rather than $50,000 cash to help build the computer, but he refused to take the equity, which if he did would cost $1.2 trillion today. Similarly, Joe Green created Face Smash for Mark Zuckerberg, which was basically a hot or not game that ultimately turned into Facebook. But Joe Green's dad didn't want him affiliated with Mark after he got him into some trouble, and so he turned down what would be billions of dollars today. A Wheel of Fortune contestant was slated to win $1 million by simply reading out this board, but pronounced Achilles as Achilles, which the judges didn't accept. And finally, a British couple named David and Edwina Nyland bought a $35 million lottery ticket with the correct winning numbers, but it turned out their transaction was denied because they were overdrawn in their account and didn't have enough to verify the purchase.
Oh, wow. The last one is probably the biggest dagger because you're just like, it's like, oh, verify this purchase, bro. You know, you know, you've heard stories about people taking equity or not taking equity and stuff. I think there's a guy that took equity in Facebook when he painted a mural. Yeah. Maybe Andy could look this up. There's a guy that painted the mural for Facebook, and they essentially, it's like, we can't pay you, but we can give you equity. And so he agreed to it. And it was now his painting is just worth way more than
$200 million.
Yeah. It's insane. Yep. How this graffiti artist made $200 million overnight. And so, you know, I think a lot of people, you know,
but
it's a gamble always.
Yes, it is. It's a gamble. Nobody knew what this was going to do. Nobody knew Facebook was going to be Facebook.
Yeah.
And so, like, he had to spend his time. He was a legit artist at that time. And now he doesn't have to do a damn thing. And every time I see him, half his face is red. I don't know if it's a tattoo or face paint or what.
You know what's weird to me? So it's $60,000, which is obviously a lot of money for an artist, probably, or the stock or equity in something. I think it's always hard in the moment. It's like if you need the money, you got to take the money because you can't trust that that's going to turn into something. But I'm a gambling person, so if someone offered me stock in something, I'm usually.
Can you imagine being that kid? Like, just the relationship, be like, Dad. The kid where it said his dad wouldn't let him be involved with Facebook because he didn't like the face smash because Mark Zuckerberg got in some trouble, would have been worth $206 billion.
Right. Yeah.
He's over here like, I'll get to that in a minute, Deborah.
Yeah.
At his job, sending emails, instead of like on a yacht somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Well, I mean, not that the guy that invented Atari needed more money because I'm sure he had plenty of money at the time, but $50,000 versus 1 point whatever trillion.
Yeah. No, I will not take equity.
Yeah. Which at the end of the day, there's no way it would have been 1 point trillion because there had to be some dissolution in there somewhere because none of them owned that much of the stock. So,
and Atari was never worth that much money.
But no matter what, ton of money given up. That's
I guess they could have maybe done a calculation on like profit over years.
Yeah.
Like because Atari was like from the 70s, so like. Excuse me, what I mean? It would have got through there. So
yeah, but still, either way, I mean, just, ooh, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, like, when that company Counter approached me about investing, which we actually had to put money in to buy it, but the idea was just like, yeah, I mean, I think this could be a big thing. I think there is not protein forward healthy meals like in the market. And I don't know if you saw they're nationwide in Sam's Club now, and I actually have some of the lasagnas at home.
Oh, cool.
I didn't bring one in, and we just need to make it for lunch.
Yeah, we'll try it.
I'll bring it in tomorrow or something. Okay. We'll make it for lunch, and because it's like 2.5 servings in a tray. Yeah. So it's like literally people are like, you can just eat the whole tray for like it's like 60 grams of protein, like 60 carbs, and like 20 fat or something like that for the whole tray. Yeah. So
it'll be a good meal.
You'd be full.
Yeah, you'd definitely be full of lasagna.
Yeah, maybe that'd fill up Garrison for once. He wouldn't be like, oh, I'm still so hungry after running 30 miles. Prank costs a fortune.
So you put a tattoo on your forehead to save your parents' house?
Yes, sir, that's correct. So I found out that they were running a promotion, if you will, where the first listener to tattoo the letters KRUD on their forehead would win a $250,000 prize.
I could have never imagined in a million years somebody would have actually tattooed our station letters to their forehead.
$250,000 is a lot of money. There are a lot of folks that would do that, right?
Seriously?
How's he to know that this is not real?
Your Honor, he clearly did not read the rules. It would have clearly said, there was a link on there that said April Fools.
You all are playing on people who are desperate. And the law says if you do a prank, they do it and they are harmed. You're bad, but your bill, you must pay for that. And I find against the defendants, and in your favor, I'm going to award a $510,000.
The tattoo looked fake, though.
That these shows are probably all fake.
Yeah.
But but the girl did mouth, "Is he for real?"
Yeah.
So I think she did seem like really blown away that they would lose that. Obviously, this was some TV court show, so they would take it to like a real judge who would probably be like, "Nah, bro, you need to like read the terms and conditions of it." But
see, I don't know. I would agree with that to an extent until, and I don't know how you identify, but like that's like the judge said, preying on a needy person.
Yeah.
And needy people make just like judgment calls, like Squid Game, you know? Like if you're Squid Gaming somebody, you need special rules.
So the truth is, though, the radio station could have gotten over $250,000 in just advertisement from this situation if they would have like properly handled it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, shoot, they were on a TV show. So, I mean, they got some free advertisement there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they probably should have just figured out how to get him $250,000.
I would have made the terms and conditions that he has to go on like some kind of little road show to the different things and like show it off and be like, yeah, I loved it. Da, da, da.
Also, I mean, like, it didn't say how big they needed to be.
Right.
The bro went.
That's why I think it's fake.
Yeah, he went like.
Yeah.
he went full forehead with that thing.
Yeah, you could have got something you could have covered up after you got that check.
Yeah, like put a ball cap on and covered it up. I don't know. It said forehead. I mean, you could have written it like real high up near the
something. I don't even know what crud is, but it's like
it's like the how there's radio stations like.
No, I got it, but it looks racist on his forehead. Like I don't know what that is, but you're kind of bald and you just got a big tattoo on your forehead. You look racist.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, you look like you belong to a certain gang.
Yeah, like that means something racist.
Yeah. All right. Don't use the letter E. Oh gosh.
Okay.
30 seconds. Win $30. Don't use the letter E in this conversation. Okay. What's your favorite color?
Green.
That has an E in it.
Why would you say something with 2 E's?
30 seconds. Win $30. Don't use the letter E in this conversation.
Hard.
What's your name?
Brad.
Do you live in Wisconsin?
Yes. Oh,
You're out.
shoot.
Don't use the letter E in our conversation, okay?
Got it.
What's your name? Sorry. What year did you graduate high school?
I didn't graduate yet.
You didn't graduate with an E?
Got me.
Don't use the letter E in our conversation, okay?
Okay.
Are you from Wisconsin?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite color? Wait, I didn't catch your name, sorry.
Mike.
E. With an E?
No, it's spelled M-I-C. I can prove it.
Okay.
I can literally prove it. Do you want to see it?
Proof has E in it.
Okay.
Dang. I don't know. Like, I was literally like, right when he said it, I was like, oh man, I would have to be thinking really hard.
Yeah, I would have just had to go, yeah.
Yeah.
More money.
Yeah, I mean,
otherwise,
my name Brad was the only thing I could pull out, you know, and then
think about that too.
even colors, I was just like,
black
what color was it? Oh yeah,
brown.
Nice. Because I was like red, blue,
Gray
yellow.
With A. Spelling.
Yeah, gray with an A. With
Yeah, how do you spell gray with an A or an E?
I think an E. What about you?
Andy, what do you think? I don't know. This is the English language. This is why you have to learn it for like freaking 12 years while you already speak it fluently.
Yeah, I do it with an A though.
Yeah, I think I do it with an A.
Well, that's what most Americans do apparently.
An A?
Yeah, that's what it says. Go up at the top. It says gray, more common in American English, and then British
Not
English.
British.
Yeah. Well,
Hello.
that's like how do you spell theater?
Yeah.
Or
flavor.
Flavor, yeah.
Flavor.
But that's something else. Like if anyone uses Slack, apparently Slack is not U.S. based because it wants to
very British.
Yeah, it wants to update flavor.
Where my road, Harbor, is spelled H-A-R-B-O-U-R instead of B-O-R.
Right.
Like you would normally do it here. So very uppity back there.
Yeah. Is that what it is? Snooty when it goes?
Yeah.
It's because they have a king and queen still. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, I saw Crayola up there. Just a fun fact about myself. Crayons, I thought were crowns until I was like, I don't know, an adult. I mean, I don't know. I'd never really seen it written out. So I thought they were colored crowns.
Oh, okay. I feel like people down south say like crayons all the time. They're like, crayons. Give me the crayons.
Yeah. I think maybe my mom says it more like crowns, and everyone else down here says it so fast. Like, I just thought they were saying it weird.
Crowns. Yeah, hand me the crowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get it. Well, I was thinking too, the other, like my grandmother says crick instead of creek.
Okay.
She's like, yeah, we went down to the crick. And I'm like, the what?
Yeah. When I was working out at Tyndall, I had, I was doing like logistics and stuff, and the rigging crew that was coming to help basically crane this machinery and move it around was from Louisiana, and the machinery was coming from New Jersey. And the guys that came from New Jersey were like Joyzy boys. I can't really do an accent, but they thick with it. I could barely understand them. The Louisiana guys, same deal, just with that kind of accent. I could maybe understand the Jersey guys better because they didn't use as much slang.
Yeah. Louisiana people are hard to understand when they get into it.
And dude, I kid you not, bro, I had to stand there and be an interpreter between two English-speaking people because they had no idea, and they kept just immediately getting like, they were both their version of a redneck, you know, like whatever we call redneck, Louisiana redneck, New Jersey redneck. You know, they kind of just like, what the can't work like this, fly off the handle. They would both just be doing that. And I'm like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, he's just saying move the truck back a little bit. He's like, what the hell's he saying? Move the truck back. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
I can't do the Louisiana accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, the Creole accent is...
I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it at all. All right, this is Andy's favorite random facts. I feel like we're like too early to be doing random facts over here, so we've been blowing through this too quickly.
I need to like keep a note card because I'm like, oh, that's good, and then I see a few more, and I'm like, I forgot.
Well, actually, you know what? I got stuff to talk about. Have we talked about the Trump Tower bombing stuff and all that kind of stuff going on?
No.
So obviously, I know you're not a big college football fan, but I enjoy watching those college football games, and so we. I think tonight I told you is like Penn State, Notre Dame, and then tomorrow is Ohio State, Texas. But the Georgia Notre Dame game got postponed because of that car that drove into the people in New Orleans. And in that same time, later that day, that Cybertruck like went off outside of the Trump Towers. And they actually, I don't know if you saw, they've released footage of him charging the Cybertruck. Yeah, of him actually charging the Cybertruck, driving it.
Okay.
Again, that doesn't really mean nothing happened between those two locations. But then there was, what's that podcast? I sent you the podcast link. I don't remember the guy's name. But there was a guy on that podcast that got
Ryan.
Sean Ryan, that got like this anonymous email like about the guy that was in the Cybertruck, saying that he's been being watched and that he knows about like war crimes.
Yeah, the more you look into it, it's kind of wild.
Generative AI for what? Dude, the dude was a Green Beret. He didn't need to learn generative AI.
No, dude.
To plan the attack.
No, honestly, with the guy's background, I mean, he's an 18 X-ray, Green Beret. Yeah. Not that, I mean, it's good that minimal damage occurred, but this guy has exactly the training that one would need to, with the kind of timing and preparation, do as much damage as he. I mean, the whole building could have been damaged. I'm hoping this is like some kind of weird political statement or whatever, because you put it inside of a stainless steel chassis known for being bulletproof. You put fireworks in there with no shrapnel effect. There's no weight. There's no real propulsion. Fireworks have like limited actual explosives in them anyway. So it's mostly like incendiaries and
like, I mean, people can blow their finger off with them, but that's pretty much the extent of it.
But not on the other side of sheet metal, like stainless steel sheet steel.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know like how well I was trained, and I was not a Green Beret, so I'm assuming that these guys have like much more training than I do about this kind of stuff.
Small unit tactics, bro. Special operations, small unit tactics. At some point, at some level, you need to know what to do if you're stranded, because you're working with small unit personnel. There's not 1,000 people. There might only be 7 guys with you. So you might get detached. So you might need to know how to like take some of this from over here and turn it into something and keep fighting your way out of whatever. Yeah, these guys have plenty. The 18 series are all indigenous usually anyways. They're embedded with locals. And so the reason I say that is like the guy had some gas cans, some fuel canisters, and some fireworks just with those materials repackaged. I mean, I don't want to like say anything on here. Repackaged could have been very, have some real compressive force and some real explosive power to it. It could have been directed in a way.
But just laying out, it's just a big campfire.
I feel like the lithium in the battery pack in the car could have been
bigger explosive,
made to go wildly explosive. So, I mean, look at the car. Like, you know, nothing
it's still
happened.
like together. Yeah. And it's wild. And the fact that he was found shot in the driver's seat with like his military ID and uniform parts and stuff. It just like, I don't know, it just doesn't add up. It seems weird to me.
He was, I think on a game show with like Tim Kennedy or somebody at some point too.
Did you, the part about the drones, how'd you feel about that?
Which part?
Where he said that, you know, China is launching the drones from a submarine and stuff like that?
I think that these little, I mean, we talked about it, these little spaceship things that are flying around, I think somebody here owns them.
Yeah. Here or in like China, or like here in the U.S.?
Somewhere on the planet.
Okay, on the planet.
I think at that level of money, you're a globalist. You're not a country. You're not.
Yeah.
Man, these billionaires, dude, they're not loyal to, they're loyal to whatever country gives them the best break.
Yeah.
And the best protection and the best.
I mean, that's how we invented the atomic bomb. We weren't using U.S. scientists.
No, I know. And so yeah, I don't think I mean, it's not relevant to point them out, but like the big boys, the ones you hear about on all the lists, you know, with the exception of Elon, I don't know. I know he's South African born, but I feel like he's the most American seeming one of them because he's at least
living here.
What he's doing on any continent.
Yeah. You know, when I heard about what he was talking about with the drones and all the submarine stuff and stuff like that, I just go,
yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it didn't like blow my mind that there's that capability, you know? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't look at that and I didn't go, that's too far-fetched.
I didn't either.
You know, with my experience in submarines, I was like, yeah.
Well, it's like, you go, yeah, you know, we did start mapping the bottom of the ocean a long time ago for no real reason. Still doing it.
Yeah.
Costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're like, Then you're like, well, the Earth is mostly covered in it, and like, shit still crashes into the planet.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, that whole story, all that stuff was just wild to me. And then I just feel like with everything like that, like, I mean, do you remember the shooting at the Mirage Hotel or whatever? Like everything, there's all these conspiracies that come out and then like nothing happens. Well, you never hear anything. It just like, it stops. Like there was to me, I don't feel like there was ever like, they were like linking this guy to like planes that had like wing numbers and CIA and all this stuff. And then there was like nothing.
Yeah, dude. And like, somebody's accountable in all of these things. If you perform some act of terror, somebody knew. If you go kill yourself in the act, we're coming after the next people. We're coming after them anyways. Scan your phone, scan whatever. They're like, nah, dude. He said, will you rent me a truck so I can go crash it through a field of people? You go to jail too. You know, you bought some shit for this person. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I believe in in full freedom, but also believe in like consequence for your actions. And like, if somebody goes and asks me to buy them some bullets, I'm not opposed to it. But if then they shot somebody up, I'm accountable.
Right.
Sorry. I am.
You enabled that. Yeah. Then another thing too, I was thinking about is, did you see that Facebook is dropping the facts checkers in Instagram?
Why?
They're going to do it like X, where communities can add notes, but no more facts checking by these, because I think we learned that the facts checkers aren't necessarily true, and we give them this like stamp of like what they say is the truth.
Yeah, that's tough.
So, but no community can add notes and say like, just like on X you can, where someone could say something and be like, yeah, no, and you could add like notes.
Yeah,
onto it.
no, I agree with not having it because I don't trust the fact checkers, and I know that a lot of what's being fact checked is completely opinion based, anyways.
Right.
There is no facts. But there's so much fake, like 100% fake trash out there on the internet that people make these days. That I wish there was still like, no, nothing about this article is real.
Well, I mean, communities can add that note, like this is not real, or this is.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
I think
this is Babylon B level. This is
right.
fake.
Yeah.
Like
this is the Onion. Like this is not real. Yeah. It says the Meta introduced fact checker in 2016. So,
well, because you remember that time on Facebook where people, I don't even think they were opening the article and reading it. They were just sharing it because of the headline.
Yeah.
And when you'd actually open it, it'd be like, haha, this is fake.
Right.
But people were just sharing it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is true. People like just share things on social media. They read the headlines and they just share it.
And then they already forgot about it. It's the most important thing in the world, and then they already forgot.
Yeah. It is. That's another thing too. I know this is like back to what we were talking about at the beginning is like something Aubrey and I try and do is can just consume less content. I don't know what it is about your phone. It's just like you just get sucked into like this information and learning, and then you tell yourself like, oh, I'm learning something, or I'm getting all this new things. Like I'm learning a better way to parent, better way to be a spouse, a better fitness thing, I'm learning a business, how to do my taxes to make more money.
Right.
Or then it's like people being like, I made this much money throughout the year, and it's like the first month it's like nothing, and then by the end of the year they're making like $30,000 per month, and you're like, what the fuck, you know? So I think that for me it's just like this whole idea of just like I don't need to fill my mind with that stuff. No. It doesn't actually affect me. And then if I want to go look up how to be a better parent in certain situations, that information's there for me now.
At your fingertips.
So you don't need to consume it now because all you're going to do is like, I'm going to file this away for later, and you're not going to like use it. So it's almost like it's better off to like go searching for it when you need it and then actually like engage with that and learn it than to like be like micro dosed with information that
I agree with that. With just like generalized learning in across the board. I used to try to like learn everything I could about a topic, especially like when I first started in business. Like I have to learn everything, and then I'm like, every problem was like new shit I'd never heard of before. Every problem I had was like new shit. Now maybe it was because I learned so much that I covered like the basics, but then I just kind of learned that same thing. And parenting, same deal.
Yeah,
you go read a bunch of shit, and you're like, well, my kid isn't doing any of these things that I read about. They're doing these completely other things. And so it's like I kind of wasted time on.
Well, at the end of the day, you're gonna fuck it up.
Oh yeah.
Like I think that's like you read all the parenting books in the world, and you could even meet the best parents that are doing everything the right way, and it's just like they're gonna screw something up. Yep. I mean, we're human. Like we're going to accidentally react wrong at some point, and our child's gonna be like, "Ooh," you know, or we're gonna.
The thing is, we are. Nothing else in your life compares to what your parents are, or at least have the potential to be in your life. They are at a young age when you know nothing. They're like the center of your world. They're required to keep you alive. Like nobody else in your life is going to be that way. And after you get to be an adult, they even cease kind of being that, but they once were that thing.
Yeah.
And so like that, like, but to them, they don't. You mean everything to them, but to them, it's the opposite. Does that make sense? There's so much more power there to them. They don't see it. And so it's one of those, like, basically a long-winded way of saying you can be the best parent in the world, and I think you're still going to, like, be your kid's baggage because, like, yeah, something's going to happen. You're either going to have been so gentle that such little bit of turmoil caused their roughness, or you're, unfortunately, maybe so rough that's their baggage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like I struggle with that all the time, and then I'm just like, I'm doing the best I can. I love my kids.
And the idea that there is a one size fits all to parenting is just like crazy. I mean, I think there are general practices that you should follow, but at the end of the day, it's just like, I don't know, like I love my kids and I want to be around them a lot. And then sometimes I'm around them like, oh my God, I need a break from them. I can't do this.
Absolutely.
You know, since Beckham's been born. Letty, which I do love, that she's been clinging to me a lot more. I think she's just like, mommy's not available, but daddy's still here. And she's been clinging to me a lot more. But sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. I get home from work where, you know how it is here. I mean, you feel the same way. A lot of times everyone needs you for something, or you feel like you're involved in so much stuff, and then you get home, and the moment you get home, it's like, boom, sucked to your side.
Daddy. My wife, like, what do you want to do for dinner? What is that? And I'm like, baby, just make a decision at all, please. Like,
yeah. I'll literally eat anything you make.
Yeah.
Like anything you make.
Yeah. You can heat up a bowl of anything.
Yeah. Like if you told me we're having popcorn for dinner, I'd be like, all right, well, sounds like popcorn for dinner.
Bunch, please.
Yeah. You know, it's just like, yeah, all the time. Aubrey, what do you want for dinner? I don't, literally whatever you want.
Not to make a decision.
Yeah.
That's what I want. A warm bowl of not making a decision.
Did you like, Aubrey's favorite thing is, well, what would you eat if I wasn't here? I'd be like, I'd probably walk to the fridge, just see what was in there and eat it. Or pick something.
Just all the random shit, and you're not gonna like what I. I'm a dude.
If there was no cooked anything, I'd be like,
jar of pickles, the leftover meat right there.
There's no meat cooked. I'd be like, which one can I make quickly? And I would just season it somehow, and then But I feel like Aubrey always wants like elaborate meals. You know, like I'm okay, literally just like eating ground beef and rice, or like a piece of meat and potato, or I don't.
Yeah, I've just like grabbed.
I find protein / fat source and a carb source, and I eat it.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, that's good.
Yep.
But like for Aubrey, it's like, oh, we got to make like, you know, spaghetti, and you need this and that, and I'm like, I'll just eat ground beef and noodles, like just straight up.
Yep.
So, anyway, all right.
Random facts.
Yeah, have we rambled enough now to get to your random facts now? With it being okay. All right, here we go.
Sleeping on your right side helps you fall asleep faster than sleeping on your left side. Random facts you didn't know. The oldest cat in the world was named Cream Puff and lived for 38 years. It is physically impossible for pigs to look up into the sky. The sixth sheep's sick is believed to be the toughest tongue twister in the English language. Only 5 people in the whole world can say it. And me, I can say it too because I am an AI. But if you can say it, you are really special. Cat urine glows under a black light. Rubber bands last longer when refrigerated. Dreamt is the only English word that ends in the letters MT. If you subscribe, you will be smarter than 99% of the idiots that keep scrolling.
I love how they always throw that last part in there. Just a really, obviously AI like writes this whole thing.
Well, it does, but it's also a big trend I see on those types of videos, because on the kids ones, they're always like, if you love your parents, subscribe. If you like mommy, like this video. If you like daddy, click subscribe, or like whatever, man. And it's just like in all of them, and the kids are like, they just okay. Oh, I like mommy, like.
So
they just do it.
So I actually want to talk about something about this. So our kids are going to grow up fully in the digital age.
Yeah, I know, it's scary.
We didn't.
Right.
And I feel like we know when we're being advertised to.
Yep.
Like we know. Yep. Like I know. Like I literally, like my dad will send me something. I'm like, this is an ad, Dad. Like this is literally an ad.
Into it. Yeah, for sure.
Like, but I feel like they don't, because my dad didn't kind of grow up in that digital age. They kind of adopted it much later in life than we did, even because like in school it started to become a thing. So you had to be doing book reports and stuff like that. You know, I remember when having to do like all the links and you had to prove like how you knew all this stuff. Like, you know, they didn't have to do that stuff. But then this other age, I feel like they're almost like dumber when it comes to the stuff too. Like they don't realize it because they're like so in it, you know?
It's brain rot. And it's also the I don't know, man. All these kids like idolize these like streamers. And then I think they like feel like they themselves are streaming their own lives or something, because they like just talk and move like them, but like nobody's watching and nobody here thinks that's cool.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, also part of the reason, you know, pulling the kids out, getting my son away from those just kids in general. And he was in great private school, and it was great for when they were young, but just like, I don't want him acting like that, or just being around The little skibbity boys.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Which I get it. I'm now the age that like my parents were when they were like making fun of the words we were saying and all that stuff. So like I get it, but I feel like
it's bad, dude. It's brain rot.
Yeah, like the fact that there's a term called brain rot now is just like lets you know enough.
I see him, and Liam is so different now, and so much not like that anymore. There's no trying to like be cool with. I mean, he still wants to be cool with them and stuff, but like. I can't.
Well, because his cousins and stuff are still in school, right?
Huh?
His cousins and stuff are still in school. So
yeah, but like when it's just him and August wants to like be like Liam, and since Liam's like kind of chill, they're both just pretty chill.
Is that August the one that came over when we were making steaks? Yeah, he was like really kind of just
he
like
just wants to make his big cousin think he's cool.
Yeah.
But like dude, they'll just start like making noises and like doing weird emotes. They're not even really dances. They're like part of a dance because it'd be like some Fortnite or some Fortnite thing. And I'm just like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are like 11 or 12, dude. Like, I know I was like a nerdy little 11 or 12-year-old, but...
Well, did I send you that brain rot video? It was like there was like 4 people, and then like a person was dressed up like a mom. It was another guy, and then the kids were like, "I need my fee stubble," and they're like making all these like weird noises, and they're like acting like, I mean, they're acting like little kids, and they're obviously like teenagers. Like,
dude, it's nuts. Yeah. We pulled YouTube Kids off of our kids stuff and YouTube, and they now get their iPads on the weekends only. And, we're trying to get some more, like, curated content. I'm waiting for pick one of them, man, to come out with, like, this crazy stuff.
Yeah, like,
come out with, like, actual
but I'm just, like, looking at
content.
the videos are just, like, they don't make sense to me. And it's like, like, at least ours, when you were talking about, like, not making sense and stuff like that, just, like, the head and the toilet and stuff is just, like, really, really weird stuff when it comes to this stuff. What does the psychiatrist say? I don't want to hear what he says. Here we go.
It's all streamers.
Brain rot. It's a phrase that's thrown around all the time online to describe content like this.
Level 5 got Riz.
Ninjas rotate the fade. Hey, that's my video. So what is brain rot?
There's not a single straightforward definition. One of them is indulging and absorbing large amounts of low quality information that is thought to be associated with deteriorating functioning and a loss of intelligence, hence the brain rot. But the other thing is when you are repeatedly exposed to media in a particular vein, you tend to associate other things with that. Most uses of the word brain rot is described from a person who happened to see a very famous illustration on a book and realized that it was identical to a meme that he had seen, and hence calling it brain rot because it's this low value meme that he had seen repeatedly, which seemed to have a connection with the outside world.
So brain rot is hard to define, but hopefully it can give you a better understanding of.
They've done so many studies, and I think that, like I told you, I've like pulled away from my phone, and I've noticed a difference in like my anxiety, and how I feel, and I think like it's the weird side of you is saying like, oh, I feel like I'm missing like out on like learning like what my like staying in tune with my friends' lives and stuff like that, but I think it's just so sad that that's the point we got to where. We had to get on social media because like, 10 years ago when something big happened to your life, I mean, I guess you would post it on Facebook.
You called people, man. You called people, you texted people, and people still want you to do that shit.
Well, yeah, when we announce pregnancies, we still, like, our close friends, like, we FaceTime them and we share that information with them, like, in person.
I think it's, like, allowed us to fake more. Like, fake that I'm still in your life because, like, way to go on your new job. Whereas like, yeah, it's almost like it feels like a faked friendship. Yeah, it really does. Because like, am I not your friend because I didn't see that you posted that you were like doing that thing? It's like a lot of work to go like, we can be friends. I don't have to keep up.
Well, it puts the requirements on me now.
Right. I know. Like I don't know what you did last Thursday. No, I didn't fucking see where you went.
Yeah.
Did you call me and tell me? Is it important?
Or like why can't we hang out and you'd be like, hey man, last Thursday I went to da.
Yeah, I want my friends to tell me, and that's why like with y'all and everything. I don't usually see your story because I'm gonna see you.
Yeah,
you're gonna tell me.
Yeah,
so
that's true. It's hard for me because I feel like because I come from the social media world, it's like my way of supporting my friends. I feel like it's like I'm trying to support my friends, right? Like so I want them to like I want them to get more engagement. I want them to like grow an audience, and I want them to go out and flourish. But then it's like, now I feel like I'm an employee for them, like trying to be like, you know, like come do this, you know, be this, you know.
I can see that.
Yeah, come check out my friend. He's so,
which is a good thing to do, but you only, again, how much back? You only got so much time. You got another kid to add.
Well, and I think that's what it is. It's just like really. That's why I told you clarity is what I'm doing. Is like I'm getting really clear on like what I want my life to look like, and I think that, you know, as much as social media can open up a lot of doors for you and do a lot of things for you, it can also be a big hindrance in your life. And so I think when you start going, I don't have enough time. And then you start looking at your schedule and you go, well, I had time to scroll Instagram for an hour, or I had time to like watch Netflix for an hour. And, you know, I know Gary Vee always says that. He's like, you know, so-and-so said they don't have enough time for a side hustle, but they can watch a whole entire season of House of Cards, I think is one he used to always say. The truth is, everyone needs downtime. You do need to unwind. So maybe it is House of Cards for you. Maybe it is reading a book, whatever it is. But I mean, I think if you really audit your life and like the way you spend time, it's like, I think you could look at it and you go like, yeah, my cell phone is starting to take a priority in your life. And for
I think truthfully, everyone needs around an hour a day before bed of like mental unwind time. I know people can use more, but I think if you're taking care of your health, so I think you need an hour a day to exercise, of which you should be able to like think about other shit. Maybe I try to have conversations with God or whomever while I'm working out, and just kind of to myself.
Well, we bro out now.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
So, I mean,
or that. So
I really like that, you know, that we're in there.
Yeah.
So,
and so you can get some like mental health, you can get some physical health. I think you should be able to maintain your hygiene and everything else fairly quickly. And then if you're young, you should be able to work your tail off, but I still think you need about an hour a day. So I basically, long-winded way of saying, I don't care if people watch TV shows or read a book or do whatever. Unwinding, you know, I know the Hormozes of the world would disagree with me, but like if you're reading like business books and all that stuff right before bed, you're not unwinding. You're winding your brain up,
right,
and then you're not going to be able to sleep well, and then
right,
it's an endless cycle. So yeah, I don't think people should take away from that. I think people should take a hard look at what their leisure time actually is.
Yeah.
And the amount of like breaks that they take from work or from efforting or from, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, I actually have something to throw in there. So like how much, when people see you, they're like, oh, Adam's the workout guy, right? Yeah. You know, or Garrison's the runner, right? And so how many hours a day do you do those things? An hour? I mean, cumulatively through the week, you could say like 6 hours a week maybe, right? Well, what if I started looking at people and be like, oh, you're a content consumer. Yep. You're a scroller.
Yep.
They'd be like, wait, what? You scroll more than you do anything else in your life other than your job.
Yep.
So your hobby is scrolling social media.
Yep.
Like if someone asked you like what your hobby was and they're like, oh, scrolling social media, you'd be like, but if you really kind of audit.
If they were honest.
But if you audited yourself, I think you'd go, shit, man, my hobby is scrolling social media.
I don't know what mine is.
And so when I really think about that, it's like, I don't want to be known for scrolling social media as my hobby.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So there's my challenge to you. Make sure whatever you're doing in life is more than scrolling social media.
Let's see what my screen time is.
Oh, gosh. Actually, mine's probably not good. I feel like on the weekends it's like when I spend too much time, but here we go. You can pull it up. Yep.
Here we go. Daily average 2 hours and 36 minutes.
Okay. Daily average is that?
Daily average. I got here. You can see what mine is.
Okay. So mine was really high and I was really confused. I left mine on Google Drive uploading photos overnight. So that drove up 6.5 hours on the entire week. So my total screen time for the week is 18 hours. So what is that, like 2.5 hours a day?
Okay. Mine's 13.1.
Yeah. But Instagram for the week is 4.5 hours for me. Messages is 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon's an hour and a half. I think we've been spending a lot of time on Garrison and I have been spending a lot of time.
I got an hour and a half on Amazon on mine too.
Google Maps is also an hour and a half. So,
yep, I got an hour and a half Amazon, hour and a half Gmail, hour and a half messages.
See, this is what's sad. My Bible app, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's when you're looking at this. My Bible app's 50 minutes and my Instagram's 4.5 hours. And so that's what I'm saying. I do
my Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, my Instagram's way higher.
Yeah.
Look. Yeah. See, my Instagram and Facebook is. But Drive is what drove me up from that one thing. So if you remove Drive out of there, my daily average drops drastically. So that helps me a little bit on that.
Yeah,
situation.
I like to pay attention to that and kind of see where I'm at and make sure that my productivity is always higher than my socials and everything else.
Well, smart.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm just gonna like start setting limits for all that stuff, you know, because like I there's no reason. I know it's hard because like we do a lot of social media at work. It's a big part of it. So there's research involved. There's checking on posts.
Have you thought about doing like a dumb phone challenge? That'd be a cool video too.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Like just
getting a double SIM or whatever, where both phones work and you can just put one on like airplane mode.
and just like carry the other one. Yeah. Yeah.
I know
they make this thing called a brick that you can like tap or whatever.
Cool.
So maybe I'd rather do it like that. So that way, if I needed the smartphone function, I could just utilize it. But
so that's what I've seen people do though. You get a dumb phone and then you have your other phone. And so like the dumb phone, a lot of folks are getting that like Nokia. Flip.
Yeah, but Verizon doesn't have SIMs the same way.
You eSIM it though.
Oh,
I think you can do double.
Okay.
But then you just cut one to like airplane or do not disturb or whatever. And then you can cut it back on if you need it. Or what I think I would do would be use it like a computer. Like, oh, I don't have Wi-Fi. I can't check my email.
Yeah. Yeah.
How important, I don't know.
My Google Maps is a lot of me trying to find the best route to the new school at the mornings because of traffic, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want people to know where she's at. But
can't know.
Anyways, that's it. Hopefully this challenged you at least to like audit your social media time and things like that, and just better yourself every day. You know.
Yeah.
You're worth it. Do hard shit.